joining us tonight. I wanted to just circle back a little bit today and talk about revisiting some of the things that we've already talked about. And when we're talking about growing our finances and we're talking about the important purchases that we want to make in our life, we've talked about how important it is to make that decision moving forward and that you're going to actually get into investing or purchasing that big purchase that you want to do. We talked about the importance of forming a plan with it and also working with an expert and asking for guidance. So wanted to just circle back a little bit about that tonight. And we're going to talk a little bit more around the power of understanding where your financial needs are, the power of working with an expert, and a little bit around the rule of 72. So I'll talk a little bit around what the rule of 72 is, and then I'm going to introduce our guest tonight, who I'm very proud to have on with us because he is such an expert in this field as well, and we work very closely together. So when you're talking about the rule of 72, basically what that is when you take 72 and you divide by whatever your interest is, that's the number of years it's going to take for your money to double. So that's a little bit of a figure that will work for you, and it'll tell you the importance of getting a higher return on your money because you're going to get to your goal much quicker and understanding that. So now I would like to introduce you to Hayden Van Derke, who is also an expert in our field, works very closely with me, and he's my colleague. And I just wanted to talk to him a little bit and ask him straight up, Hayden, when you're working with your clients, what is one of the biggest gaps that your clients on the commercial side or corporate side are asking you?
One of the biggest gaps that I get asked is tax sheltering for corporate clients. How do we save money? How do we invest our corporately? And how do we save on taxes? So through multiple different strategies we can take where investments will grow and shelter some money and you getting money out of tax free out of the corporations. We have many different products that I work with for our corporate clients. But the main thing is looking at the investment accounts for the corporations because it doesn't matter how much you're getting taxed as long as you can grow your money faster than the inflation rate. Because the bigger wealth you grow, the more money you're going to make. At the end of the day, money equals tax in that world. The better we can hide it, the better it is. I'm going to pass it back to you for another question.
Okay, and thank you very much. That's so important, and those are really key things to understand. Wanted to circle back a little bit. Now we're going to flip a little bit between the corporate side and commercial side of it, as well as the personal side of it. So when you're working with your personal clients and you're explaining to them around the rule of 72, and you get that question asked, how quickly can I grow my money? And understanding about that. But then when you're looking at the strategies, what is the biggest I I don't want to say gap, but what is the biggest concern that you're hearing from your personal clients these days? What's on their mind and they're losing sleep?
And the biggest concern is that their money's not beating inflation nowadays. That is the biggest issue that I see 9 times out of 10 because lots of people invest with a yellow bank, blue bank, green bank, whatever it is, and they're doing 2.5%, 4.5%. Maybe they're getting up into the private wealth sector and they're getting into the eights. But the biggest thing is that their money's not beating inflation, so they're actually losing buying power with their money. So that is one thing that I really focus on is getting their money into places that are going to perform better. So and showing them, mapping it out with them, I will draw it out on paper with them. I'll draw out each investment return rate that they're getting. If they're actively getting 4.5%, I'm going to put that on paper. And then I'm going to do the rule of 72 across the top of the page. And I'm going to draw that out with them. I'm going to show them that 4.5 divided into 72 takes a heck of a long time to double your money. But if we were to divide 8 into 72, now your money's doubling every 9 years. The thing is eight is what our balanced accounts do typically. That's an average that we see with balanced portfolios with private brokers. When you start getting into the growth portfolios with private brokers and stuff, now we're looking in the 10 pluses. No guarantees on any of this, obviously. It's just market history that we can talk about. But working with a private broker is going to benefit you and your wealth building journey and your estate preservation a lot more than working with a yellow, blue, green, or red bank. They just don't have your best interests in favor, and I will flat out call them out on that.
Thank you for that. You talk about showing clients how their money is going to increase quicker when you talk the rule of 72 and you look at what they're getting with other financial institutions or people that they're working with. When a client gives you a statement and they're looking at their growth and thinking that they could be doing better, but they would do a comparison and they ask you to do a comparison. When you do a comparison on what their statement is that they're currently in, how do you give them that analogy? What do you compare it to, and how do you show them the difference in the growth that they are could be potentially earning?
I always compare apples to apples. If they're in a balanced portfolio at another institution, I'm going to use our balanced portfolio that we use with multiple different companies. We have many different companies, and that's what gives us so much power as brokers, is because we're not stuck to a certain set of investment funds. We have many different funds at our disposal as a broker. So when we're looking at balanced portfolio at XYZ Bank, I'm going to take our balanced portfolio at our institutions and be like, hey, apples to apples. I'm going to use our balance to their balance, and that's how I show them the comparison on that. It obviously comes out a little bit more complicated. There's graphs that I go through, there's drawdowns on everything. I compare their max drawdown, which means the max that it's gone down in the last 5 years, to our drawdown, which is the max that ours has gone down. Sometimes ours draws down a little bit more, but it usually recovers a lot faster. Sometimes theirs recovers faster, but ours recovers more. It's just there's so much to go through when doing a comparison. Also, it'll break down where the money's invested. Is it technologies? Is it real estate? Is it healthcare? Is it so many different things that we'll look at when we're doing a comparison. But a lot of the time is when we're sitting with a client, the main thing is educating them on what their money is actually truly doing so that they can make an educated and well-informed decision on what to do with their money next.
Fabulous. Thank you so much explaining that. There's a lot of power in what you said. I really like how you say that you compare apples to apples and you really
Mhm.
break it down and show them why their investment can grow quicker. You use graphs and, as you said, it's not a guaranteed return ever that we talk about, but it sure gives some power behind how we can help clients grow quicker. When I'm going to flip a little bit back to the commercial side or corporate side of it, what would you say the strongest takeaway or the aha moment that any of your clients have had when you start to look at their finances and freeing up and even looking at the legacy side of it? How do you incorporate that with a client?
Their biggest aha moment is when they're big enough that I can bring in our large case solutions teams, which is a team of lawyers, accountants, and representatives from large institutions such as IA Financial. They have a very good large case solutions team, and I'm going to be flat out and honest. When I connect those teams, I'm just kind of along for the ride in those meetings. I get to sit there, I get to learn, I get to take notes because those are the professionals for the corporate side. We have teams of those guys that are so good in that field that why not use them when we have a corporation that's big enough, right? And their aha moments, a lot of the time is that I can show them how to get money tax free out of their corporation through a policy over time. Like we have policies that we can use that can pull out money tax free if they've never made a claim on it, tax free and at the time of 65. And there they go. Like every dollar they put into this policy, they can pull out of it through a return of premiums rider on a policy. Every dollar that went into that from their expenses of their corporation goes to their bank account personally, tax free. That's a big aha moment for a lot of corporations that don't know that kind of stuff. The other thing is there's so many strategies that we can use to for the estate side of things and succession planning and all that kind of stuff to minimize the capital gains passed down. So if they've built a corporation and they want to keep it in the family and they want to pass it down, there are many steps that our team of lawyers and accountants will take to make sure that corporation gets passed down to his son or daughter or grandchild maybe without as much capital gains tax. So like there's not really one aha moment. There's more like 10 or 15 in these appointments. So it really just depends on the situation that we're in and what we're trying to do. But those are the main ones that I see is showing them tax-free money out of their corporation.
Great. I'm so happy to hear that, Hayden. And we've talked a lot about, you and I do a lot of work together, and we've talked to, and I've many times mentioned on this channel, the power of having a team behind you and a powerful team that is so much more working together with you to build your outcomes than running solo with just yourself or one single advisor. Would you say that you've feel the same way, or what do you think about running as a powerful team? What are your
I
beliefs in
mean,
that?
you're only going to get so far alone. Flat out, you're only going to get so far alone. I mean, at the end of the day, I can only handle so many clients. I can't handle a book of 1,000 clients. So if we can build a team, a brokerage, and it's powerful. I work with a brokerage that's much bigger than us, part of a larger team, and then bigger than just us, and we service over. I'd say there's well over 500 clients a year getting helped, if not over 1,000. So there's no way we would be able to do that on our own. So the power of a team is just we can help so many more people. But the power of having a team with these institutions that we use is we're never stumped on one situation that we're going to be in. We always have an answer to everything.
Yeah, and it's really great answer. Yeah, I truly firmly believe that too, and I follow that path of you need a team to work together with you. And when we look at our where we are with our economics right now, and we look at where we are with the number of Canadians that we have, or even straight across the world, but especially when we're focusing, like looking at our Canadians right now, I'm going to focus just on them. Um, Number of Canadians that we have and the number of newcomers that are coming into Canada. Do we currently have enough advisors to be able to do this solely? Or again, does that just benefit with having a bigger team so that nobody gets left behind?
I don't know. We don't have enough. It doesn't matter if you were to put the whole financial industry together, every single financial company in Canada, we don't have enough to service every single Canadian. We have over 40 million Canadians now in Canada. I know for our company in Canada, as a whole, we're about the 27,000 advisor mark right now. I mean, everybody's actively growing their teams, growing their brokerages, and people are looking to try new fields and stuff like that. So we're always welcoming and hiring and bringing on new people to train and get licensed. But if you were to put the whole financial realm together, every single bank, every single well, I can't really include banks because there lots of people just have them for like checking accounts and savings accounts, just day-to-day use. But if you were to put every single investment brokerage together, we still couldn't service every single Canadian. There's just too many of us. The numbers are growing way too rapidly. I know they did cut down on and make it a lot harder to come into Canada recently, but the numbers are still growing rapidly. It's never going to be a field that we run out of work. You'll always have a job if you have a license in this industry.
Thank you. Yeah, I love what you say. And it is so important that we are able to look after these Canadians. And right now, we don't have enough advisors to do that. And again, that is just, that's what we have a passion to do. That is so important to us. And like our motto is so true. And it's how we actually feel is, no families left behind. And as we continue to work together, um, that's going to be something that we just make sure that any family does not get left behind. So Hayden, as we wrap up tonight, I just wanted to ask you one more thing. Is there anything you would like to leave our audience with before we go?
Make a decision for yourself instead of making a decision on what others think. A lot of people base their finances off of what they see on social media now. The fake lives that you're seeing on social media, people are traveling 24/7. It's just not real. There's no way. Um, Stop being fooled by it and make a decision for yourself and for your family instead of basing it on what you're seeing on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Thank you so much. That is so powerful. I really appreciate your time with us tonight.
Mhm.
And if please, the biggest thing that you can do for us is like and subscribe to our channel, and we will continue to bring this valuable information to you so that you are not alone on your journey with your finances. Have a great evening, everybody. How to get started with us is simply by booking an appointment, making that decision that you really want to make a difference in your finances and you want some educational support on it and you want a team working with you. So as soon as you make that decision, just click on our link for Linktree, book us an appointment. I'm here, Hayden's here. We do a lot of our work together because, you know, we have such a diverse background with both of us that pulling our brains together really helps the client be successful. So make the decision that you want to go down that road of whether it's building a plan for your legacy, whether it's your retirement, whether it's just you want a lot of cash flow and net worth and you want to grow it and know how, or purchase that big ticket item, whether it's a house or second cottage or whatever you want to do. Make the decision that you are going to need and want the financial support of a team going with you. Once you've made that decision, as I say, click on the calendar. We have so many different hours that we will work with our clients because we pride ourselves in not being that 9 to 5 advisor. And, if a client wants to meet outside of business hours because they're working, that's what we're here for. We will absolutely do that. We're going to sit down with you and we're going to form a plan with you. And one of the first things that we do is we really get to know you and understand what your goals are. We do what we call a financial needs assessment. So we basically will sit down and talk to you about what your current state is for your debts and your investments and your assets and all of that kind of stuff. What are you making a month? And where are your shortfalls and your gaps so that we can build a plan that's going to strongly work with your budget to get you to the state where you want to be. We are the experts. We're the ones that you ask for guidance. We're going to walk you through that. What we're going to ask you to do is embrace that change because we've talked before about change. There's sometimes little changes that you have to make, and they might be pain points for you. But as you go along and it becomes comfortable and it starts to become routine, those changes are all natural, and you're going to see very quickly how that's going to shift and help your money grow and get you into those purchases and investments and things that you want. And then we're going to take it away from you. We're going to execute the plan. Now, I talk about that like it's a really quick boom, 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 boom. It's really not that quick. A lot of times it will take 2, 3 meetings even to get to the point of where we're going to come back to you with a solid plan of how we're going to formulate this for you and how we're going to help you along the journey to get to where you need to be. And after that, we have our touch points. They could be monthly touch points, they could be bi-weekly touch points, could be 2 months, could be 6 months, depending on what our goal is. We're there for you. We don't just meet with you and say, here's your plan, run it, go on your own. We're on that path. We're on that journey with you. We'll celebrate your successes. We'll talk about, where your gaps are and what happened. And it's okay. Just be honest with us because life happens. If we need to sort of navigate those waters, we will. So that's how you get a hold of us. I'm going to turn it over to you, Hayden, just to pull in. Is there any, what would you add to that? What would you say?
I wouldn't add much to it. It's pretty straightforward. You got to make a decision. You got to make a decision that you want to work with a professional in the financial field. If you want to work with a professional in the financial field, you have access to the calendar. You book in there. All it needs is your email to send you the Zoom link. You book in there really quickly. We're going to do a quick 20, 30-minute first time appointment, just get to know each other, see if it's a right fit, obviously. And if it's a right fit and you're comfortable with us, we move forward with other things. If not, we have other people that we work with too that we would refer you to. That's all I got.
And then I
Perfect.
have a question, just for people, what is the cost?
It's free.
Free.
Yeah. Everything. Well, let me break that down. It's free to sit with us. At the end of the day, products are not free. So you're never actually paying us, but if we recommend that you put in term 20 life insurance through one of our providers, you are going to be paying a monthly payment for that life insurance. It's no different than anywhere else. If you're at the XYZ institution and you put in life insurance there, you're going to pay them monthly. We're just your bridge. You don't pay us anything. We're paid by our providers. We're the bridge between you and the provider. So we handle all the legwork for you. All you got to do is sit with us and move forward from there.
Our client through this whole process for years down the road. We don't pass you off to someone else and say, okay, we've done our part, we're gone. We will stay with you. You are actually our client. We just have the beauty of working with so many different providers that we can come up with a solution that's going to meet your needs. No, not at all. Absolutely. It's all complimentary. It's all for you, and you pay us nothing. Just the product providers will, you have to pay, obviously, as Hayden said, if you have monthly payments into it, obviously you have to pay that, but nothing comes to Hayden and I from you as our client. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It's pretty exciting, pretty amazing. And I've got a quote that's kind of a little bit, it's not really off topic of what we're talking about, but again, it's that coming back to making a decision. Sarah Blakely has a quote that I really find so powerful, and so many of us shy away from just because of this exactly. She says, don't be intimidated by what you don't know, because that can be your greatest strength. So not knowing where you need to start can be pretty intimidating, but don't let that shy you away from booking with us to make sure that, Hayden and I can help you through this journey. And that can be your greatest strength, because at the end of the day, you're learning a lot about yourself, you're learning a lot about your finances, and you're able to hit every one of your goals that you want to hit. Any client can book with us. 100% free. Any client can book with us. We do not turn clients away. Hayden, anything on that?
It's pretty straightforward. We don't charge you anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we,
I don't
nope.
know. I don't know how many, like, I don't know what to add to that. Yeah, we don't charge you a dime.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously do get paid for what we do. It just doesn't come from our clients. We do get paid by our product providers. They pay us instead of you having to pay us. We don't send you a bill. We don't charge you hourly. We don't take out of your investments. Everything comes from our product providers. So some places, if you go to move my money from XYZ to XYZ, sometimes they'll take 5% right off the top of your entire account. And if you have a big account, 5% is a lot of money. But our product provider pays us instead of you having to pay us. So we don't take anything off the top of your investment accounts. That's kind of my niche. That's where I sit, is in the investment side of things. I have fun with it. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, we don't take anything off the top. It's just, it's pretty straightforward.
And we
All
also
right.
work with clients, we talk a lot about investments, and we talk a lot about protection and different means like that. We also work with clients that need debt restructures, or, they're looking for mortgages or reverse mortgages or anything like that. So we have a niche that will fit almost every client. I shouldn't say almost. We have a niche that will fit every client in every market, in every stage of their life, whether it be investing, whether it be protection, whether it be financing. We're there through all of this for you.
Um, I'm going to straight up refer them over to our debt solutions company. I'm not going to handle any of it because I'm not the expert in debt. I'm going to refer them over to the debt solution company. They're going to make their recommendation towards them, and I'll handle the saving for child's education, saving for their retirements, make sure everybody's protected, and those are the three things that I would handle. But all the debt and everything, I'm sending it over to our debt specialists. I'm not going to handle any of it because it's not my field.
Yeah. And if we look at the scenario where we've got a client that is a homeowner, two parents looking for their child's education, they got credit card debt. We take a look at, and I will take a look at through their debt consolidations of what's the equity in their home. Is it something worth consolidating in? If they don't have the enough equity in their home, that's where we're going to look at going over to our debt consolidation team again. And when it comes to investing for the education for the kids and all of that, we're going to look at that. But we always will look at what their assets are first. We're going to look at the best way to serve them, to save them money, to free up some cash flow so that they can invest that back into themselves. Absolutely zero charge. Yeah, never a cost to them. And not only is there no charge for you or no fee for you, there's no judgment, because everybody is in different stages of their life and situations because of different things. And there's never a judgment of where we are or why we're there. We're here to help you. We're here to help you with no charge, and we're here to find the best solution for you.